Hello and welcome. Welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is Melissa. I am the owner and artist here at the Top Drawer RVA located in Richmond, Virginia. Today, I'm going to take you on a little bit of my painting journey. I found this beautiful dresser for sale on Marketplace, and I knew I could make it fabulous. I brought it home, took it apart, and cleaned it inside and out with White Lightning. White Lightning is a great cleaner for all of your projects. It removes any dirt, oils, or grime that might be stuck on there before you paint. So I realized pretty early on that this piece was going to need some extra TLC. The surface of this dresser was kind of like a shiny laminate. It was missing trim in one corner. I had to rebuild it up. Luckily, I saved some sticks from some old transfers, built up that corner, and filled it in with mud. So since this dresser is kind of like a shiny laminate surface, I needed to apply Slick Stick. This is my gripper for slick and shiny surfaces. I apply it with a roller to keep it somewhat smooth. I do 2 even coats of Slick Stick, waiting 2 to 4 hours between application of coats. You're still going to need to wait 24 hours before you paint, after you apply your final coat of Slick Stick, so keep that in mind. So what's the plan for this little cutie? Well, I'm going to cover it in multiple shades of blue. Let's begin by starting to cover every square inch of that Slick Stick with some sort of blue. At this point, it really doesn't matter what you used, but I used In the Navy, Antebellum, and Palmetto for this part of the process. So now we're going to get into the good stuff. This is where I start to ombre blend my colors together. Those initial colors of blue on the piece are dry. So this means I need to add a second coat of paint in order to ombre blend the colors together. For that part of the process, I'll be using my Best Dang brush. But at this point, I don't even think I switched out my brushes for each color. When I do an ombre blend, I tend to do a bit of a darker shade from the outward edges inwards. So I started with In the Navy, kind of for the base of the legs and up into the interior. Next up, I added a little bit of Bunker Hill Blue, and then I jumped into the Antebellum. Working in these small sections, like 2 or 3 drawers at a time, allows me to really blend the colors together and get the look that I want before the paint dries. I came in with a touch of the beautiful Moonshine Metallics and Deep Woods, and then here and there I added a little bit of collard greens. Eventually, you're going to blend these colors together. Don't worry, I'm going to show you the process. I just couldn't cut any part of this video out. Okay, so next up is Holy Guacamole, which seems a little bit crazy, right? It's a little bit bright on this piece, but you're going to see how it's going to add some great depth when those colors pull together. Okay, so here's the thing. This little ombre blend would not be possible without that Best Dang brush. This brush is how I get that cloudy ombre look to the piece. Keeping my Best Dang brush damp and then wiping it off on a towel on the floor when it gets oversaturated with some paint is how I work this process. I use small circular motions, pulling the colors together, kind of keeping the outside edges and then moving towards the center. This is where it's your choice to add in any lighter or darker values. I wanted to lighten up the interior just a bit, so adding that extra little bit of Holy Guacamole and then blending it together helped me get the look that I wanted. Keep a light hand when you're doing those small circular motions. It's going to help you pull the color together. Stand back, look at your piece, add your colors in where you need to add that lighter or darker value. This is all about you and what you decide you want to like for your piece of furniture. Continue this process all the way up the top of your dresser. You can see I really highlighted the centers of the drawer where the hardware is going to go onto the piece. Now this is where it starts to get a little bit of fun. I like to use a spatula in this technique where I just call it like a paint drag. This is simple, there's really no rules. Dip your paint in whatever color you like. For this part, I use coffee bean, and drag it down the front of your piece. This is going to add texture and definition. Along with the coffee bean, I also did this with collard greens. I didn't really change my spatula and I didn't worry about my colors mixing together. If you find that you maybe were a bit heavy-handed with your spatula, just grab your best dang brush and kind of blot it out. You can move this around, and we're going to get out our spray misting bottle filled with water in a few minutes, and we're just going to douse this piece anyways. I want it to look old, worn out, and really cool. So since I'm kind of like mimicking an old door or how something would look after years of weathering, spraying with a water bottle really helps kind of get those runs and drips the way that I like them. It moves the paint around. Using a tissue or a paper towel allows you to really kind of bunch up that paint and create texture where there wasn't any before. Okay, so before we go any further, we're going to have a little chat about Patina. Because Patina is one of those products that, unless you really know what it does, you might be a little bit afraid about how you use it. So what is Patina? Patina is a product line that actually has metal inside of it. So there's 3 different colors. There's bronze, iron, and copper. All of these are metallic colors that actually contain metal fragments inside that when you use an activation spray, whether it be green or blue, you're going to get a couple of different effects. So I've made a sample board. And this is really, really helpful when it comes to Patina. Okay, so we mentioned 3 different colors, right? We mentioned that we have a copper, a bronze, and an iron. You can see the original color in the middle of this board here. This is the bronze, this is the copper, and this is the iron. When unactivated, they stay in that original state, in that metallic state. But when you use a spray, this side is blue and this side is green, the spray activates the metal in the product. So don't be afraid of Patina. Think of it as a a process that's going to take a couple hours. You're going to spray it on. It's not going to fully come to fruition for at least 4 to 6 hours after you spray it. Sometimes even longer, depending on your heat and humidity in your area. Okay, so today I'm going to use the bronze with the green spray. So this is the bronze color right here. This is the blue spray. This is the green spray. They're fairly similar. And really, I might even switch. I kind of, when I look at this, like the effect that the blue gives you a little bit more. So let's switch it. Let's do bronze with blue spray. And we're gonna put that through a stencil on the front of this piece. I used the Lotus Bloom stencil and applied the Patina paints right through the stencil. After I was finished, I just washed it off outside and made sure that it was nice and clean. But for now, I want a drippy, messy effect. I'm also going to drag the patina in the corners or where I think any age would actually live. Make sure to be heavy-handed with your spray. Your patina spray needs to be activated onto wet paint. This process does take time, and it will happen over like a couple of hours or so. Don't forget the hardware. This is the original hardware to the piece. It was missing 2 pulls on the top 2 drawers. Luckily, this piece came with an end table. I took them off the end table, and then I will have a full matching set for this dresser. So I gently kind of dabbed it on the top where I thought it would be all rusty and crusty naturally, and then sprayed it. So this hardware stayed original color with added Patina products in blue spray, copper, and iron. And bronze too. Don't forget the bronze. I came in with a piece of chalk and gently sketched out where I wanted my Buddha head to be on the front of this dresser. Then, using all of the colors that I used on the base of the dresser, plus Peacock, I started sketching in the details. After I finished making my beautiful drippy Buddha, I came in with gemstone mousse and golden gem to add small details, like the little curls on the head and the highlights on the face. Now you can start to see the activation of the Patina products on the front of the dresser. I finished up the top of the dresser and the sides to make this dresser completely painted in the same manner that I did on the front. We're almost done, I promise. This piece did take a couple extra days due to the hand painting and all of the detail work, but I needed to seal my work. So I used clear coat in satin and my blue sponge. Here's my handy dandy tip of the day. Make sure to dampen your blue sponge a bit. It's going to help you pull that product across and have less streaks. I wanted a little bit more of a darker look on the edges, so I came in with my Best Dang Wax in black and my French tip brush. I just applied that into the edges, rubbed it around until I got the darkened edges that I wanted. I also highlighted some of the edges with bronze gilding wax. Well, I'm finished. It was a long couple of days getting this guy done, but let me tell you, it was worth every step of the way. I absolutely love it.